I'm Michelle Rahal with the Drive Channel and thedrivechannel.com. The Lamborghini Murcielago is dead. Long live the Jota or Aventador or whatever name they come up with. Lamborghini's never followed a clear path in building its cars, but with Audi VW now owning the company for a number of years, you'd expect to see something dramatic in the new replacement for the Murcielago. Well, from the spy shots you see, it isn't the car itself, but the engine and the drivetrain that seem to be the stars of the show, which, if you remember, this replacement was rumored to appear at the Paris Auto Show. Instead, it was the Lamborghini Sesto Elemento, seen here, which is going into limited production, if you can believe that. I mean, it's a stunner and ultralight, but at $3.5 million, it won't be sitting at the Audi dealer anytime soon. So how did Lamborghini get to today? Well, in 1963, Fabrizio Lamborghini, who was a successful equipment manufacturer, tractors and other farm vehicles, commissioned a car to be built that would be a Grand Tourer. He had several Ferraris, but he thought they were too rough to drive. So they spit out the Lamborghini 350 GT and then the 400 GT. Not exactly chick magnets, but a good start for the times. All Lamborghinis had a short run prior to Chrysler's takeover and then Audi. So the Accelero was born in 1968. It was somewhat of a flop considering the Miura S was introduced. The Miura S was a turning point for the design of most mid-engine sports cars of then and even now. The Miura had it all. A beautiful shape and a screaming V12 engine coupled with racing-like handling. It was nearly killed before it got started because Lamborghini himself rejected almost everything, and this didn't fit the Grand Tourer models he envisioned. But it was a hit. It lasted from 1968 to 72. The Miura was designed by engineers in their spare time. Lucky they were sneaky. The Espada was one of the cars that was produced in what I call the lost years. It sold well, but it had a rear end that looked like Mama Cass. The Jarama was another during this time period that looked great, but the timing was bad, and it too fell off the charts. The Iraqo, it was a newly designed clean sheet car that had the looks and it presented to the automotive world the perception that Lamborghini had staying power, even if this model didn't. Well, everything changed in 1974 when the Countach was born. This radical departure from anything Lamborghini had ever produced made it a supercar manufacturer in the truest sense of the word. I've actually worked on one, which tells you that I am just a little insane. That production run took the Countach from 1974 to 1988, the longest a car survived in the stable. One of the strangest vehicles produced by Lamborghini may have been the LM002 Cheetah, an incredibly powerful off-road style vehicle. Hummer probably took some of its design cues from this one. At the time, no self-respecting Sheikh could be seen without one, even though they probably had to have a helicopter flying along when it broke down, which it always did. Well, the Diablo came after the Countach and sold relatively well, but it wasn't a hit as it got a stunning Obama gut-wrenching 6.5 miles to the gallon. And you could definitely see Chrysler's design cues in it. But Audi got hold of the company, and in 2003, the Gallardo and the Murcielago were born. The Gallardo was built on an Audi chassis, had all-wheel drive, and was dubbed the Baby Lambo. The Murcielago was a 12-cylinder beast that wasn't a baby in any way. The Murcielago saw 4,099 examples built, and that brings us up to now. What's the car that's going to replace it? They're either going to call it the Jota, which I hate, or the Aventador. From the rest of these shots, you can't tell if it's going to be revolutionary or not in design, but Lamborghini's always marched to the beat of a different drummer, and this car promises to be a supercar along with the finest. For me, the Sesto Elemento is king, but at 3.5 mil, I'm just part of the rabble looking through the glass. For the Drive Channel and thedrivechannel.com, I'm Michelle Rahal. I'll see you next week.